The cardio paradox. Is cardio going to kill you? How much cardio is enough? Should we even do cardio? What benefits does it actually have? These are all questions I'm going to answer in this short video. For the sake of context in this video, I'm going to explain that cardio is just a form of physical activity which involves elevating the heart rate above a baseline level. I'm going to specify that this is not in the form of resistance training in this specific instance. So something that I think is not too controversial is the idea that our relaxed sedentary state is our default state for the most part. We don't spend all day running around needing to do different activities to live and to subsist. The reason why people nowadays do cardio is to try to match what we have done ancestrally or historically in order to improve our health outcomes. We may have had to climb, hunt, or even trek for long distances on the odd occasion. We may have even had to sprint at times. However, as we have developed our skill set over a period of millions of years at this point, through different generations or eras of the human race, we've been able to enjoy a less stressful experience. Now, our bodies release endorphins after exercise to congratulate us, to say, good job, you've caught the animal, you've hunted the next thing for food. Brilliant. Now, this hormonal cascade might be important to us by having elevated dopamine responses as a result of the exercise or activity. However, you could also argue that that is the body's natural signal to tell us, okay, we've done something stressful, now let's stop doing that. Let's not keep doing that. Just do what's necessary as needed to be able to provide substrate, food, however you want to call it, to the human body. It might also be a mechanism to help us understand that rest and recuperation is important. Our body is trying to relax our sedentary state so that we're able to rest, recuperate, recover, feel better from the actual activity that we've just had. This puts us into a parasympathetic nervous system state much quicker. This enables us to digest our food, and if we were hunting, we'd be able to do that much quicker. During exercise, cortisol is elevated. It is an essential hormone to signal a downstream cascade of biochemical processes necessary to aid someone to perform well in stressful situations. It is essentially an adaptive mechanism that we do have. However, we don't want to always be pushing that cortisol hormone button. Doing so can deplete us of essential vitamins and minerals needed to be able to recover and improve our exercise capacity in future bouts of activity. You may have watched my previous video on anti-aging. Now, stress can certainly age us. I would define stress broadly as anything which doesn't serve the body to perform its daily necessary tasks. Something which makes you feel uneasy, uncomfortable. Basically something that doesn't make you smile. That is what you might say as a stress. This might be climbing the stairs, walking to the local shops, picking things off the ground. I mean, I never see people drop something on the floor and pick it up off the ground and to think, oh, well, that was fun. I feel great for doing that. It just doesn't happen, you know? There was a clever man a long, long time ago called Hans Selye. He basically invented the principle of stress. The idea is that anything out of our natural state can cause a negative effect on the body. Yes, we adapt and have morphological responses to our internal organs, such as an enlarged left ventricle. Perhaps our kidneys might expand slightly in order to deal with high protein boluses. Now, these things are indicated, but in some cases, these things can become a stress to the body. Our body then has to continue withstanding the improvement or sufficiency of that given muscle to be able to deal with what's at hand. But a lot of these changes can take time to reverse back when that activity is no longer required by the human body. My issue is the idea of overdoing it. And it's very difficult to underpin what is overdoing cardio. You know, what is the breaking point where someone may no longer benefit from it, and it may actually be a detriment to their long-term health outcomes. Now, we can certainly expedite fat loss results, improve nutrient partitioning through improving the GLUT4 receptor sensitivity. However, at what cost? Before undertaking anything new, it might be prudent to ask yourself, at what cost? You might ask, does that volume of exercise impact my recovery? Does that stimulate my appetite beyond what's needed to maintain a healthy body weight? I'm going to provide a quick case study on this. So, anecdotally, and you guys might agree with this actually, I've seen most physique athletes starting off doing 0 minutes of cardio, then finish up their contest preparation doing sometimes 1 to 2 hours plus of cardio before the contest to get in shape. In this time, their food intake has also drastically dropped, sometimes being even less than half of what they're initially having. So if cardio was so good for the metabolic rate, why is it that we have to reduce our food intake and increase our energy output exponentially to get in better shape? It doesn't make sense. With that being said, there are circumstances where cardio is useful. And I might just say it's something where you're doing either maybe a long walk, something which doesn't damage your knees, something which is easy, sustainable, something which you can schedule in without much detriment. It can be useful for some people that are trying to get from a overfat state to a healthy body weight. Of course, being a bodybuilder, I do prefer resistance training from a physiological standpoint and a mental health standpoint. There is evidence to suggest that even 20 minutes of activity in the gym each week is enough to improve someone's body composition and long-term health outcomes. This can actually improve heart function, improve mitochondrial health, increase muscle mass, improve bone health, improve strength, and I believe something is better than nothing for the vast majority of us. However, there are some drawbacks to performing this activity, particularly in excess. So one study conducted by Guasch et al. In 2013 found that excessive endurance exercise, particularly that which is performed by marathon runners, can cause cardiac remodeling and dysfunction. The study suggested that extremes in terms of endurance activity may lead to the development and an increased risk of cardiovascular events. There is also the possibility of overuse injuries. When people do repetitive exercises that can place stress on certain joints, tendons, and muscles. This can cause issues such as stress fractures, tendinitis, muscle strains. There was some research conducted by Fields et al. In 2010, which supports the notion that there is a high instance of overuse injuries in long-distance runners. This is probably due to the repetitive nature of their activity. Steady-state cardio can also disrupt hormonal balance in the body. There was research conducted by Hackney et al. In 1992, which revealed that intense exercise, such as long-distance running, can lead to chronically elevated cortisol. It can also decrease testosterone levels. These things may be linked to reduced immune function, less muscle growth, and potentially a lower state of well-being. It seems to be that people that do endurance activity tend to plateau faster when they're trying to achieve certain body composition results. They overdo it, they do more and more and more that is not needed. There was a study performed by Wilson et al. In 2012, and they found that when people performed steady-state cardio compared to those who incorporated resistance training, they plateaued much faster. With all this being said, I think I've given a very, very, very fair outline of the pros and cons of different activities. There is always a good, better, and best case scenario when it comes to improving your body composition and improving your long-term health outcomes. If you can, go outside, go for a walk, walk the dog, get some sunlight, being in nature, those sort of things are useful. they're probably more healthy than trying to exceed yourself and overexert in any given day. If you can do some sort of resistance training, use bands, calisthenics, something that you can do at home, perhaps even better. If you have access to a gym where you can safely load different muscle groups and develop strength across all range of movements, that could be even better yet. So for more information about exercise, nutrition, and how to best reach your goals, I highly recommend getting in touch with me at compositionconsultant.com. I do offer a diet and training plans, coaching plans, consultations, and 1 or 2 digital products which you can buy and you may find useful. References for what has been discussed today will be linked below in the description. Thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you have not yet already. Thank you.